going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today's video is about accepting the temporary. Accepting the temporary. Accepting that nothing in your life will last forever. You know, accepting that a business that you own for 10 years can suddenly crash. Accepting that a 50-year marriage can end. Accepting these things. And understanding why. Why this is. Why things are not permanent. Understanding why nothing is permanent. Understanding why things are temporary. Why everything is temporary, you know. So yeah. I'll talk about the temporariness of everything in life. You know, from your job to relationships to anything you can think of, you can apply temporariness to it, and you will find that the temporariness in it. You know, you will find that it's not forever. And understanding why this is because we wake up every day, we experience every day. We continue to live, we continue to grow, we continue to elevate. Some people grow, some people just be stagnated, some people descend. But either way, we continue to wake up, we continue to be conscious, we continue to be alive. So in that continuingness, that's temporariness. Continuing to be brings temporariness, you know? Because permanent only happens when there's an end. You see? Something can only be permanent when there's an end, when there's a defined end. Let's say, you feel me, you got 10 years to live. But you have a 10-year business. That's a permanent business for you. Because you feel me? Once you die, the business die with you. That's a permanent business. You feel me? You're never going to lose it. But you don't know how long you're finna live. So you got a 10-year business. You don't know how long. You might live for 50 more years. That business will have to survive 50 years of you living, of more experiences, 50 years of more experiences, 50 years of you waking up in order for it to be permanent. You know, or that wife of yours would have to, you know what I'm saying? They have to survive however many years. You know, you don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know what each day brings, you know. This is why temporariness is. This is why it is. It's not really a thing. Temporariness is not really a word. You know, permanent, that is a made-up word. Temporariness is permanence, bro. Like, you have to see it, bro. If everything in the world was black, you wouldn't see black. You wouldn't see the color black. You would just see that. You would just see it as is. Same thing. If everything in the world is temporary, you wouldn't see temporary. You would just see it as truth, as what is. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you know, temporary, saying something is temporary means that something in the world is permanent. There is no permanent. You understand what I'm saying? So permanent does not exist. Temporary does not exist. These two words are false. These are false words, you know what I'm saying? Built on false pretenses, you know what I'm saying? Because everything is temporary. And this video is about accepting that everything is temporary. It's about, you know, understanding and becoming one with the temporariness, becoming one with what is, becoming one with the idea that everything has a start and end. Being one with the idea that everything will have a certain place in your life. It has a time and a place, you know what I'm saying? That nothing will be forever, you know. It's being able to grasp this idea, to grasp this fact, and live within it, you know, being able to live within it, being able to prosper within this idea of temporariness, you know what I'm saying? Because it can be hard. It is hard to accept the fact that nothing lasts forever, you know what I'm saying? Because especially when we deal with relationships and financials and all these things, you know what I'm saying? You know, we love the idea of emotions lasting forever. We love the idea of moments lasting forever. We love the idea of happiness lasting forever. You know, we love that idea of sitting in forever happiness, sitting in forever joy. You know, these things that we have, these ideas that are false. You understand? Because everything is temporary, you know. So what I mean, the reason I say everything is temporary, even though I just said temporariness does exist, is because that's how we choose to analyze. That's how we choose to portray it. That's how we choose to categorize it as temporariness. You know what I'm saying? That's how we choose to categorize the truth of what is by calling it temporary. You know what I'm saying? The truth is everything has a time and a place. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes and goes. We call that temporariness because we haven't, put it into terms. We haven't put it into words as to what it actually is. It's really truth. It's really just all truth. It's really just truth, bro. Truth is, truth has a time and a place. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It really is what it is. It's really just being. But in order for us not to confuse it with permanence, we're gonna call it temporariness. We're gonna call that truth temporariness, and so we're gonna say that temporariness is it's everywhere. It's everything. Everything is the leaf is there. The leaf is on the tree at one point, then it falls down. It was temporarily on the tree, you know what I'm saying? Even if it was on the tree for 5 years, it's been growing on that tree for 5 years. Okay, you thought it was permanent. No, the leaf falls now. Now it's on the ground. And you think it's on the ground permanent now. No, the leaf disintegrates. Now it's disintegrated. No, the leaf goes back into the soil, and it's a cycle. Temporariness is a cycle. Life is a cycle, you know what I'm saying? So we have to accept this. We have to become one with this cycle and just living, We have to understand that we have to understand that, yeah, man, nothing is permanent. Permanence, I already made a video on this, but permanence is a false ideology. It's a false pretense. It's false. We have to be able to sit in this temporariness and look around us and look around ourselves and really be able to sit, because we're not sitting beings. We love to move when we're designed to sit. If you sit, when you're sitting, when you're moving, you're contributing. But when you're sitting, you're letting everything contribute to you. When you're sitting, you're letting everything show you. You're letting everything teach you. Versus when you're moving, you're teaching the world. You might move a grocery basket. You're teaching that grocery basket to move. You don't understand it, but you are. You know what I'm saying? But if you're sitting, you listen to the birds, you listen to the wind is teaching you. The wind basically is teaching ain't nothing but giving, bro. Teaching is giving. You might think that teaching is knowledge. No, teaching is giving, bro. Teaching is giving, and what I say, creation is receiving. No, teaching is giving, and sitting is receiving. Like if I sit here and the wind touches me, it's teaching me, bro. The wind is giving me feeling, it's giving me thoughts. Or if I sit here and I look at the tree, the tree is teaching me. It's teaching me about the color green. It's teaching me about the leaves. Teaching me how leaves flow in the wind. You know what I'm saying? And that's life. Life is this cycle of teaching and learning. It's this cycle of learning, and it's a cycle of teaching and receiving. That's life. And it's a temporary cycle of teaching. It's a temporary cycle of. It's not a permanent cycle of. You're not just sitting in the classroom, nor are you just sitting at the front of the classroom teaching. You're not a permanent student, nor are you a permanent teacher. You're both. You're intermingled. It mixes. It's a cycle of life. You know what I'm saying? So you take this and you apply it to everything. You apply it to everything that you either a teacher or a student. You know what I'm saying? That's life. In life, that's truth. That's truth. You either a teacher or a student. You either learning or you getting taught. You either learning or you teaching. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to what I was saying about being still or movement. When you're moving in the world, you're teaching the world. You're teaching the world your ways. You're teaching the world about yourself. When you're moving in the world, you're walking in the world, you're teaching the world things about you. You know what I'm saying? You're teaching, you're giving, you're not receiving. But when you're learning, when you're sitting, you're being still, and you're allowing the world to come to you, you're allowing the world to teach you. Now you're being a student of the world. Now you know what I'm saying? Like, that's life. You're either gonna be a student or you're either gonna be a teacher. It's either or, and it's a constant cycle. I guess you could say it's a permanent cycle because you know what I'm saying. That's until you die. You either gonna be a student or a teacher. You either gonna learn or you either gonna teach. You know what I'm saying? But I need y'all to grasp that when you're moving, when we're contributing action, we're teaching the world. We're teaching. You know what I'm saying? You're not just movement. It's not a false movement. It's not just every movement has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's to teach the world, to teach the universe about you, to teach the universe about your thoughts, your feelings, your action, your culture. You feel me? That's what you're doing when you're moving. When you're moving, you're teaching. But when you're sitting, you're receiving, you're being a student. Like if I'm sitting on this tree right here, if I'm sitting on a chair, I'm allowing the world to teach me. I'm allowing the world to I'm observing the world, basically, and it's teaching me. The world is teaching me based on, what I'm saying, what I'm doing. So yeah, like this video is about temporariness, and it's about how temporariness is truth, and that that we have to accept this temporariness in life. We have to accept that we are students and teachers. We have to accept these things. You know what I'm saying? And what does accepting mean? Accepting means being one with it. If you accept something, you allow it to come into you. You allow it to bind with you. You allow it to mold with your thought processes. You know what I'm saying? If you accept something, you allow it to fulfill you. You know what I'm saying? When you accept a notion, you basically understand it. You basically, it's beyond understanding though. You believe it. You grow with it. You know what I'm saying? You become one with it. You know, that's what it is. So when we say accept temporariness, we become one with the temporariness. We become one with what is. We become one with truth. We become one with the idea that nothing is permanent, and the idea that nothing we do in this world is permanent. You know what I'm saying? That everything is temporary. You feel me? We become one with the idea that temporariness is a false word. We become one with the idea that permanence is a false word, that permanence is a falsehood. We become one with the idea that when you become one with these ideas, then you live like that. It carries out into your daily life. You start to live like, okay, I won't expect this to last long. I won't expect this to last forever. I'm just gonna enjoy it while it's here. You know what I'm saying? That's accepting. That's accepting. That's becoming one with that idea of temporariness. You know. Just understand that everything is temporary. You know, and understand that there's nothing wrong with everything being temporary. There's nothing wrong with nothing lasts forever, because that's the way of life. That's the cycle of life. Like I said, we learners are teachers. You know what I'm saying? So you can't constantly be in a teaching state, just like you can't constantly be in a learning state. You gotta be in both. You know what I'm saying? So just sit in that thought that everything is temporary. You know what I'm saying? Accept it, acknowledge it, accept it. You know, acknowledge it, accept it, and live within it. You know. That can be a pretty hard thing for me to do, accepting that everything is temporary. You know, not really, because I really don't care. See, when you accept everything is temporary, you don't care anymore. When you don't care anymore, you can't lose, because you're living in truth now. You know what I'm saying? You only lose when you care, bro. You only lose when you try to find the permanence. You only lose when you try to make everything affect you so much. You only lose when you take their words literally. You only lose when you give their words power, and when you allow them to alter your movements. You only lose when you care too much. You know, you only lose when you try to make words permanent, when you try to make things permanent, when you try to make feelings and actions and emotions permanent, when you try to make situations permanent, you try to make, that's when you lose. That's when you feel bad. That's when you start to lose your smile. You know, that's when you start to frown. That's when you start to overthink. That's when you start to overcomplicate, because you're overcomplicating. Like I said, you're not realizing that it's temporary. That it's a temporary feeling. That it's not real. That it's a truth. It's truth in temporary. You know, there's no truth in permanence. There's no truth in trying to keep something for longer than it needs to be. There's no truth in that. And so with truth, the opposite of truth is what? False. And falsehood and it's lies. Lies, they bring nothing but despair. They bring despair to the person who thought of it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make this relationship last longer than it needs to be. You trying to make this job last longer than it needs to be. You trying to make these thoughts, these emotions last longer than they need to be. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to find permanence in something that's not there. You know what I'm saying? And you're only bringing despair and pain and fear and anxiety to yourself. You know. So understand that temporariness is true. Everything is temporary. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how long you had your business, or how long you've been of this religion, or how long you've been alive. Everything is temporary. You know what I'm saying? And you notice when you realize that everything deceased. And this is, I gotta make a video on this, but yeah, you realize that everything has a beginning and an end. You know, even your life has a beginning and an end. So if your life has a beginning and an end, then why wouldn't everything else have that? You know. But thanks for watching this video, though. I'm gonna let you guys go. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Click link in my bio. I got 2 ebooks. Well, I got a click in my bio. Go to my website. I got ebooks on there. Check them out. You'll love them. Pretty sure. Join my Discord. Link in the description. We drop poems in there. So if you make poems or you poet or whatever you want to do, we drop them in there. We share them with each other, just to allow somebody else to hear you. You know. I appreciate you for watching. I bring number peace and harmony to you, and have a good day.